You're on a deserted island with no food. The first few days might be bearable. You feel hungry, your stomach growls, you think, maybe I can endure this. But then your body starts eating itself, and it does so with the same calmness as a butcher carving up an animal. The strange thing is, it doesn't hurt the way you might expect. On the contrary, the body has a macabre plan to keep you from running off and chewing on rocks. Science calls this survival, but in practice, it's a kind of elegant suicide. First, you burn through fat, then your muscles, and finally, your brain begins to eat itself. Yes, like a monster devouring its own tail. But the question isn't, how long can you survive without eating? The real question is, how much of yourself are you willing to lose before you die? Sure, it all sounds poetic until your stomach starts growling like a starving dog. But anyway, let's leave the deserted island aside and step into the operating room. This is how internal cannibalism begins. Step by step. The first 24 hours are almost like a cruel joke. Your body thinks you just skipped breakfast, so it starts burning what's in storage, the glucose in your blood and the sugar stored in your liver. So far, nothing serious. But soon comes the crash. You get dizzy, your hands tremble, and your stomach growls like a stray dog. That uncomfortable feeling is your body screaming at you, "Feed me or I'll feed myself." From the second day onward, the real feast begins. The body opens the emergency pantry. Fat. And yes, technically you lose weight, but not like those ads that say lose 3 kilos in a week. It's more like the elegance of someone losing strength, focus, and patience. You can still walk, think, even laugh at a bad joke. But the truth is, hunger at this stage isn't trying to kill you. It's just preparing the main course. After a few days, your body has squeezed out all the fat like cheap juice. And being the good survivor it is, it starts looking around and realizes the only available resource is you. This is where the macabre part begins. The body starts breaking down muscle to get protein. And no, it doesn't do this elegantly. It does it like a thief stripping your house to sell the furniture. Your arms, your legs, even the muscles holding your organs together become part of the menu. The result is obvious. Extreme weakness, clumsy movements, that feeling that even breathing is a chore. And as the cherry on top, the brain doesn't come out unscathed either. Prolonged hunger affects brain chemistry. You might feel everything from depression to strange bouts of euphoria, almost like a drugless trip. Science calls this protein catabolism. Basically, your body starts breaking down the proteins in your muscles to turn them into glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis. That keeps the brain running because it's picky and only wants sugar. But the price is that every movement costs you, as if you were dragging chains. You'd feel like someone drained your energy reserves and left you in low power mode. And the worst part? This still isn't the end. It's only round 2. When the body is already consuming its own muscles, the next victim is your brain. And believe me, it doesn't go quietly. It starts screaming with hallucinations, obsessions, and delusions. But why does this happen? The brain works almost exclusively on glucose, but when there's none left, your liver produces ketone bodies from fat. These act as emergency fuel. They keep you alive, yes, but not intact. The side effect is strange. At first, you might feel a false sense of mental clarity, like you've been forced into Zen mode, but soon the crash arrives. Extreme irritability, depressive episodes, and even hallucinations where food becomes a religion and crumbs become divine visions. In famines and experiments, many people describe dreaming obsessively about food, smelling, and even tasting it, or talking about imaginary banquets. The starving brain becomes a cruel chef. It creates dishes you'll never taste. After weeks, there's not much left to cannibalize. The fat is gone, the muscles have collapsed, and now the body starts eating the most delicate parts, your vital organs. The heart weakens, beating like a tired drum. The liver and kidneys, once juggling to keep you alive, begin to fail. Blood pressure crashes. Body temperature drops. Every cell screams for a resource that no longer exists. Science calls it multi-organ failure. The human narrative feels like a slow shutdown, blurred vision, confusion, and finally, a deep sleep from which there is no return. Paradoxically, many starvation survivors report that the end isn't painful, it's strangely peaceful. As if after all the torture, the body silently presses the exit button. In the end, starving to death isn't a quick punishment. It's a slow-motion macabre feast, where the special guest is you. The irony is, while your body is tearing itself apart, your mind still plays tricks on you, making you dream of tables full of food while inside, you are the buffet. Science explains it with equations and medical terms. But in reality, it's simple. Extreme hunger is the cruelest act of cannibalism.